Hey, what's up guys? Jay's 2 Cents here on the car channel, coming at you from my garage. Here in my garage. Anyway, different video today. I haven't actually worked on the 68 in a couple weeks, been traveling, and I've just been doing other stuff. And I'm gonna get back to that car, but I've been waiting on the heads, which should be here shortly. Today I'll be working on my AMG GTR, which has been having a little bit of a problem where water's been getting its way into the driver's door and killing the door module. The first time, this is the second time it's happened. The first time the module tried to catch fire. Here's some photos of that. You can see the scorch marks and stuff on it. The second time, the door functions just stopped working, including the passenger power seat, because the harness runs through the power seat, which is really odd. The module started working again. Like, it killed the battery and I had to put the battery on a tender. I went on vacation and stuff and I came back and it was like down to like 3 volts, whatever. It was really, really low. And this car has a lithium ion battery. So I used the charger that came with it. It took several days, it retook a charge and it's good. So my thoughts are that water got to the module and then caused a short, which was making the module like draw power, but not enough to kill the module. Now it's been several weeks since then and it's dried out, I think, because now the functions in the door are working, but they're not working properly. Like the auto up and auto down function, even though I reprogrammed them with the switch, got the driver's door to reprogram. Because when the battery goes dead, if you guys have ever had a car with auto up or auto down windows, battery goes dead, you have to reprogram that. Usually it's roll the window down, hold the window down for 10 seconds, roll the window up. Once it's all the way up, keep holding the switch up for 10 seconds, and then it will reprogram the window. Worked on the driver's side. It doesn't work on the driver's side. It still goes up and down like a manual window without auto up or down. The triangle blind spot in the mirror is permanently illuminated, so we think the module might need to be reprogrammed. But we have a replacement module. It's just now we want to figure out like what happened with this one, and we want to do some smoke testing in the door to see if we can figure out where water's getting in and killing this, because it's the second time it's happened to me. This time it happened after one car wash, where before I was able to wash it for like a full year, and then this started happening. So it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. But while we're there, I've got some other stuff. I'm hoping to also install these ticked brake ducts. So I did track the car, my AMG GTR. I did track it, and the brakes do get warm even though they're carbon ceramics. And it was a cool day, but that's notorious for these cars because they're big and they're heavy. And the thing about ceramics, at least, is you don't lose the brakes when you get fade. I am running a proper high temp .4 for the track, and I wasn't happy with the way that they were feeling. So these are the ticked brake ducts, which are designed to replace, here comes the trash truck again. These replace the heat shield and then just mount under the car. They're Kevlar reinforced. So the yellow you see here is Kevlar. This is the leading edge, which is designed to be able to take rock chips and stuff. That's obviously carbon. They weigh like nothing. Don't know where these brackets go. I'm gonna have to watch their install video because I have no idea where these brackets go. I also have stainless steel brake lines. I'm not gonna install those today. I'm fairly certain because I don't have the fluid with me that I want to use. But hopefully we can get to this today as well because he has a lift. But we have to do the obligatory cold start. This is probably going to be a hot take, but I personally feel like my GTR with this exhaust setup sounds better than my R8's V10. Like, I don't know, just something about it. It's just so mean and rumbly. I mean, that rattling you're hearing is the brackets back there in the back, but it's so German muscle. It's not as loud as the V10 with the supercharger, but they both sound so good in their own ways. This is a perfect view. You can't even see my face. Anyway, I'm going hands-free for a second just so I can do a pull getting on the freeway so you guys can hear what I mean. This thing it's just so good. I'm also behind an Amazon truck that's doing 12, 11, 10 miles per hour around this ramp. But because it's a rear-wheel drive car, it does get a bit of tire spin versus the R8, obviously. I should do a video, R8 versus GT. I see people asking all the time in forums. Okay, so here we are, Riverside Mercedes, Walters Mercedes actually. And so we have actually hooked up the computer to it, and it did come back with a passenger side door fault. It says incorrect configuration. So like I said, it might have actually lost its coating. So right now he's gonna hook a battery charger up to it to make sure that it doesn't go dead on us. It shouldn't, but that's always like step one when programming something. Hook up a battery charger to the car. Because if it died or anything bad happened during programming, we don't want to chase that down. But we'll see now if it accepts the new programming. Okay, so for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show the screen, but his computer is actually coming back and saying that the passenger control unit, the door control unit, it's like unknown part number, and then the control unit's reporting back to the computer a bunch of question marks with a couple numbers at the end. So it's possible that the water like fried the portion of the module that like identifies what it is and knows what to do, but the connections are still solid to where power is flowing to each component, like the door, the window, and the mirror, and all that. But it's not intelligently doing it like it's supposed to. So Jameson right now is trying to see if we can like force it to know what it is. If not, we just have another module we'll replace it with. But it's one of those instances where the water probably caused damage to that portion of the module, but the power is still flowing through the module without the short present anymore to allow the basic functions to work. But like the mirror doesn't point down when I go in reverse anymore. The auto up, auto down feature of the window doesn't work anymore. Blind spot assist doesn't work anymore. The little yellow triangle in the mirror stays partially illuminated. It's like really dim. So clearly there's still some physical fault probably happening there. But at this point, it's more or less like investigation now, just to kind of figure out what's happening with it. Just good to know. Why not, right? It's interesting stuff. And then the cool thing is when these findings happen, they can make their way into a database. So some other car somewhere else in the world might have a similar problem, and then this can show up in the database like, oh, this similar issue had this result, and then they can kind of go from there. All right, so it took the programming, everything's working. Jameson's gonna go ahead and take off the door panel now, because we still need to figure out where water's getting in, because there's no doubt it's happening. Now I have a theory. He was asking me about the PPF on this car, and I specifically had my PPF guy do a seam where he can hide it, because I don't want them taking off the mirror. But you see that red down in there? I forgot this car had a like race livery on it, because it was a track experience car. It was like an AMG track day car with like through the Mercedes. You know, you buy an AMG, you can go to AMG driving school and drive them, right? And that's what this car was before I got it. And it had a livery on it, and I'm thinking they took this mirror off at some point, and we're wondering now if the seal got messed up. Now there's multiple layers of seals, and it would have to go from the outside of the door frame, inside the door skin, and then through. But we still want to look and see, because we got to figure out what water's coming in, or I'm going to continue to deal with this. But yeah, this might be the clue. I forgot about this until we looked at it closely. I'm like, oh yeah, there is red wrap under here still. So we'll see when we get the door off what the harness looks like. The last one, I showed you some photos already. You saw evidence of corrosion and flame, like it literally was melting itself to death. But this one clearly didn't. So I'm curious what we're gonna find when we're in there. So this is the door module in question right here. This one already looks better than the other one. The other one had like obvious signs of being smoked. You see how it's exposed here? We just unplugged that wire right there, but it's crazy because like, this is a seal, like this right here pops off so you can get access to the bolts to get the mirror off. But there's no clear sign of water having come in here. That's the thing, like, we're starting to wonder if it's like, I highly doubt it, but like somehow wicking through the harness, because this is where the harness goes up to the mirror right here. Like this goes up to the mirror. You can see it's not even fully enclosed. Oh, actually I take it back, sorry. It's this guy. This comes from the body. Right, this probably goes over to the body. This is what's coming from the mirror right here. And you can see there's another seal. So the only thing we're thinking is like water gets in here and like wicks all the way across. But I don't, because look, it's open right here. So that couldn't even happen. My only other thought is it's water somehow getting in the mirror and shorting up there. I can't keep going through this every time I wash the car. Okay, so inspecting, this is the plug on the top right here that goes to the door card. And as you can see, looking in there, there is some sign of water damage and corrosion. See that? See that corrosion-y color? So that is what we need to be mindful of right now. How is that happening? Okay, you can see that discoloration right there. Development. Just been kind of poking around in here myself, And this is the seal, like I said, that allows you to get to the screws for the mirror. We know the mirror's been off when they did the previous wrap. The bottom is not sealed. Look at that. That is in a direct straight line with that. Like if I back up here, you can see. So we think water is dripping off this and potentially dripping onto the harness, which is plugged in right there, and then just rolling itself in there. And that would be why the corrosion is at the bottom, because gravity, right? So we think this seal right here could be bad, and then this is obviously not sealing at all. So we're gonna start here. I think he said we can get this seal, take the mirror off, put the new seal on, and then we need to seal that back up. That is about as best as we can. And that would explain why in the other one, if you look at the picture, all of this side was fried. Like all of this side was really badly fried. So that would explain water was just getting in there like crazy. We just got lucky that this one dried out and started working again. Okay, so I just took off the bit of wrap that was right there. I think we threw it on the floor. Oh, here it is. It is actually pretty, it's hard to focus, it's actually pretty thick. So, and it was only on the front leading edge. So we think that was actually what was causing the seal to not seal, because there is a seal on the mirror side. It's a little dried out. Maybe we'll hydrate that a little bit. But if you look at the mirror where the screws and stuff are, like there's just no other way water could have gotten in except for right there. And then it's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's the bottom of the mirror mount right there, and it just sort of funneled it right to that hole, which if you look straight down, what's underneath it? Right there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and replace the door module, I think, because we're still getting a light that comes on with it, but now we've moved on to doing the brake ducts. So these are the brake ducts, and this one's loose. These are the brake ducts that are actually with my 2020 GTR non-Pro. This is actually something off the Pro that they added on the 2020 GTRs, but you can see it sort of just diverts some air into that area, but it's not as good as what we're gonna get with the ticked ducts. So you can see underneath the car, there's my high flow cats right there. Well, high flow downpipes. The cats are actually up top. Everything's nice and dry under here. Then I happened to notice this. Let's see if I can see it over here. Nope. Oh yeah, there we go. These have adjustable coilovers on them, which actually have an AMG like branded sticker on them. You can see right there in the front, also adjustable coilovers with, very difficult to see, threaded shock body. It's really kind of weirding me out here because the GTR non-Pro doesn't have adjustable coilovers based on everything I've ever read. The adjustable coilovers came on the GTR Pro, which is a upgraded aero and different suspension, different wing version of the car. It's interesting. I've always wondered if something was changed, because as far as I know, and Jameson's actually looking it up right now to try and see what code, like option codes and stuff there were for the car. The GTR had adjustable ride suspension, which is why it has a comfort mode, has a sport mode, sport plus mode, race mode, and all of those are supposed to change the damper rate because of a motor on top of the shock, right? The Pros did not. The Pros were a static suspension with a non-adjustable damper rate, but it had an adjustable coilover for ride height. So I'm starting to wonder if this car at some point was swapped over to a Pro, and they either used cancelers on the plug that would normally go into the top of the shock body, or just coated it out entirely. Because I've always felt like changing the ride doesn't change anything with the comfort of the car. Like it just felt the same no matter what. I mean, given the fact that it was a track car, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, but they are branded AMG. So I'm really wondering now if somebody put GTR Pro suspension on this, which is kind of an upgrade a lot of people do with this particular car, without going full aftermarket suspension, which may not have even existed at the time when this car was new. I mean, 2020, it's not that long ago, but there are Öhlins shocks and coilovers and stuff available for it now, but not at the time. So I'm really curious, which will be neat, because one of the things that's kept me from wanting to do it is not wanting to have to get the cancelers or coat it out. But if this was coated out, then I could throw anything I want on there and it won't matter. With all of that said, Jameson just confirmed that my car does have what's considered option code M30, which is the adjustable coilover. I'm sorry? Oh, 479. It's code 479, which was adjustable coilover suspension. So apparently the 2020 GTR has an option to have the adjustable coilovers, which I'm assuming might be the same as what's on the Pro. Maybe the Pro has different damper rate or something. It has more downforce on the Pro, so obviously the damper rate would have to match the additional downforce. So I didn't even know that was an option. I guess that's something that now when I see someone correcting someone in the forum saying, no, GTRs don't have adjustable suspension, that might be true for 2018s, but not true for all 2020s. And then of course there's the Black Series, which is all completely different than everything else. I'll show you some further evidence that this was a track car before I bought it. Check this out. Beautiful carbon ceramics, right? Hey, look, you can even see me right there. Beautiful caliper. So you get to this side. Look at all the rock. The amount of rocks that have gotten like wedged between the wheel and the caliper. All the tire buildup. This is all from marbles. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep, I have tracked my cars enough to know exactly what that means. Why this is blue, I don't know, but that's blue. So someday I might take these off and get them sent out and get them reconditioned, which wouldn't be that bad. But I mean, it looks fine from this side. I don't care. But look at that. Ugh. What does the other side look like? Oh yeah, same thing. Big old scrapes right there. Woo. Okay, so Jameson's holding up the new duct, as you can see right there. So it's funny, we expected to see a full heat shield, and I was worried too, honestly, about removing that it was gonna be a problem, like for debris or whatever, but I didn't even have a full heat shield. In fact, I had these little bits right here, and you can see that says this was a prototype from 2019. Like, this was my only heat shield. So it's almost like they had already hacked one up or to try and come up with some sort of a solution, because it says 2019 and considering this is a 2020. But anyway, you can see the air comes in here and then gets spread around this entire surface area to the back side of the rotor, and then we just have to use that reinforcement bracket on this, it looks like, because this is it's a little recess right there. Actually, that touches flat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So then I think the metal piece, let me see. We're trying to figure out where these go, because I was watching the install video and it doesn't actually show them. So it looks like we might have to bend that tab slightly, but it looks like they go up in there or something. Something like that to sort of reinforce it. And then maybe that's soft like that because it's going to bend in. You know what I mean? See how that looks like it's designed to bend. I really believe that when you tighten that down, that's intended to crush in, and then it will just form fit itself. So they let the install do it. This also keeps that big opening right there from having any, like, I think this is honestly just to protect the backside of the rotor from shit that may come in from right there.
That's it.
We're guessing here because I watched their install video and they don't have these pieces in there. All right, so all back together, everything's torqued down. I'm not gonna even bother cleaning this up. I don't even care. We got we still have to put the brake lines back in their thingy.
Yeah.
So we gotta still hang the brake lines back in their brackets. But if you take a look under the car, you can see nice clearance between the rotor and the ducts. Not a lot of air can escape there. And then, like I said, this hangs way down right now because the suspension's in full droop, but only like the very bottom portion will show under the car. But because of pressures, the air will scoop up through there, and TICT has a lot of data showing onboard live temperature sensors on how effective they are. So I'm really excited about this. Now this took us a while because we were figuring out the right bolt pattern and not torque specs, but you know, how the bracket and everything went, just to make sure we did it right because there's no instructions. So we're gonna time, it took like at least an hour to do that one side. It's 1:49 p.m. Basically, we'll just call it 1:50 and see how long it takes this side to go. I'm thinking 15 minutes tops.
Oh, yeah, I'd say 15 minutes.
All right, it's 1:50 on the dot. I'm gonna call an audible and make it 20 minutes because I forgot. We spent a bit of time, well, Jameson spent a bit of time cleaning off the hub from all of the built up like crap from the car washes and stuff. So got to do that to make sure everything mates flush. All right, so it's 2:15 and he's torquing the caliper back on. You know, it's funny, like it was like more than 6 minutes to get the original duct off because of the way it clamps on. Not bad. I mean, 25 minutes, thinking about it, I think we spent a lot more than an hour on the other side. Probably closer to an hour and a half or more, because we were really trying to figure out how everything went together. All right, so it's actually about almost 2 weeks later since we did this install. Actually, no, it's been a week. Whatever, doesn't matter. So door module's working fine. Should. I mean, we replaced it. Haven't washed the car since. So I'm gonna kind of dropping the phone. I'm gonna kind of take it easy with the car washes. Pretty sure we figured out why it was happening. But the more important thing, though, in this video that I was not expecting was the fact that finding out this car was like some kind of test mule. I knew that this car had been tracked. I knew this car belonged to Mercedes, like AMG Experience, for a while before it was sold. Like I knew it had about 4,000 or 5,000 track miles on it. And which actually, some people would look at a track car with that many miles and say, like, knowing that almost all the miles were done on track over and over and over and over. You know, like you see those videos of like, Mercedes invited me out to check out the new AMG, and then they're like at Coda, just, you know, hot lapping, and they'll do that at different tracks. They'll do that at different experiences, different driving schools and stuff. Some people would look at that and go, oh, I'm not even the least bit interested in a car like that, because they'll just assume it's been like the wear and tear is insane. And that is true if it's not with somebody that takes care of the car. Now, I know for a fact, like the AMG engineers, the mechanics and all that travel with those experiences, they take very good care of the car. That's why I don't know if I showed in the video or not. That's why the rotors on here, carbon ceramics, are like $7,000 a rotor. That's why they're brand new. They were actually replaced in, I say brand new. They're brand new because these have only seen the track once since I got it, and I know the person who had the car before me didn't track it. But they replaced the rotors in 2024, which coincidentally was the year the car was first sold and titled, which I thought was so interesting considering the fact that it's 2020. So that, I mean, I'm kind of surprised they even replaced the rotors. Like, normally these driving schools and stuff, they won't go with like a carbon ceramic car. They'll use steel brakes, or if it's carbon ceramics, they'll take them off and then put steel brakes on, Giro disc or something like that, or stock steel brakes. So I'm kind of surprised, but it was neat to see the prototype stuff on there. It was neat to see what was different with my car regarding what a standard, you know, off the shelf GTR back in 2020 would have been. It's also very interesting that this car was listed as a 2020 model year, but it was built in February of 2019. It's really cool, actually. So it's, to me, this is like the not 4090 from EVGA, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it is a GTR, it is a 2020, but it's like above and beyond the standard GTR, and it was actually made in 2019. But it's weird because there weren't really any 2019 AMGs, GTs. So, or specifically GTRs. It's like they skipped from 2018 to 2020. And then in 21, Black Series. So, all right, well, time to get out of here, guys. A different video other than the Camaro. Good news, I got tracking numbers for my heads finally. So I'll be able to start moving forward with the first gen Camaro build soon, because I needed to get the engine done so I could start building around it, because I want to move up front and start doing the accessory drive, getting all the stuff up front done, the brake lines done, and then getting the fender. I can't finish the brake lines until the inner fenders are mounted, because I got to make sure they're not going to interfere with that. So you can see I sort of hit a roadblock there, which is kind of why I did this video, to show you guys something different. Also, too, just a little side note, I sold the RS6 about 2 weeks ago, and I replaced it with a new daily. Nothing super special at all. It's like the RS6 was super special, but my new daily is not super special. Kind of trying to tone things down a little bit. But if you guys are interested in videos about some of my other cars, because I do have, like I said, I do have the ZR2 Silverado that's got some work done to it. I've got the R8, obviously, that's got a lot of work done to it. The new daily, maybe some more stuff with the Rivian. If you guys are interested in any of that, let me know. And we've got some, plenty of content we can make on this channel here. Just need you guys to show up. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, we'll see you in the next car video.